this design I'm using sunflower acrylic, which is this gorgeous yellow shimmery design acrylic. So if you were using this on a client, you would need to apply a clear base first, and that is just to protect the natural nail from staining and also to sandwich in the strength, because you would clear cap this as well. So I'm just working very thinly because this is just design acrylic. With design acrylic, you're not building up any strength or structure. This is just for the pretty. You don't build any structure at all with design powders. The same with glitter acrylics. They are literally just there for the colour. So I'm just working in small wet beads. We don't need to worry too much about ratio, but you don't want the beads too wet that you're just chasing them around. These are very pigmented, so make sure you clean your brush properly. I'm now using Natural Pink, which is a clear acrylic with a very slight pink tinge, and I've found this netting, and it's a kind of plastic netting. You can use netting off of oranges or your avocados or fruit or something, and I'm dipping it in the acrylic powder, and this is to stop it sticking to the next bit that we're going to do. So give it just a little dip. And I do have these tubs of acrylic that I simply use for things like sugaring and this kind of design work. So I've wet the base of the nail first, and this is to catch any dry bits of acrylic, because we need to add an entire layer of this natural pink, or clear, you could use clear as well, over the top pretty quickly, not in lots and lots of sections, because we want it all to cure at a very even time. So if you are doing this in separate beads, I would recommend that you do them fairly quickly, one after the other. If one end of the nail starts to cure and harden before the others, this effect will be very difficult to do. So you can see it started to polymerize. So we want the acrylic not sticky, not runny, but slightly soft. We're then going to push this netting into the slightly soft acrylic. Now this is much easier and less fiddly to do on a real nail, because your client will hold their hand fairly steady for you, rather than having to try to wrap this net around a swatch tip. But it is a bit fiddly, but we want to push this into that clear acrylic, and as you can see, when I take the netting away, it leaves this kind of honeycomb effect, which is exactly what we're after. Allow that to harden up a little bit. Grabbing gold liqueur, which again is another design powder from Wildbow, and it is like just pure gold. They also do bronze liqueur and they do silver liqueur as well. With a very wet bead, I'm just swiping some of this across the whole design, and you can see what happens here. When you push quite hard, it's going into those crevices that we've made. The idea here will be to create a honeycomb effect to put our crystal bee on top of. This is quite a cool technique, and you can use like any colours to do any kind of design, even just for an interesting background. You can even use string. I've seen people use dental floss to create lines, and then adding different colours of acrylic into them as well. With a very fine e-file bit, what I'm doing is just filing. Once this is all completely cured and set, I'm filing the top part this way, and you can see how lightly I'm touching the acrylic here, very, very gently. You could even hand file if you prefer. And I'm taking the very top part away and exposing where the gold has sunk into those little honeycombs. You can see the areas that I didn't push quite hard enough into, but that's where we're going to put the bee, so it doesn't really matter. Once you've filed and you're quite happy with that, then make sure that you clear cap this very thinly as well to protect everything. I've added a matte top coat just to make it easier really to add the crystals on top and allow the gem gel to just stick to the surface, but you don't have to do that. You can just add your clear cap acrylic and file it into shape. So you can see I'm just adding my gem gel, deciding where I want my crystal bee to sit, and adding quite a large teardrop shape for the body. I'm just using blue tack on a dotting tool, and this is the best thing I've ever found to pick up crystals. Little tip there. And then I'm using these little leaf shape crystals just to create the wings, so 2 each side for little wings. Really cute. And I'm going to give that a flash cure. Once I'm happy, bit of a faffer. And then I'm adding some more gem gel on top of the body. So in stripes, I'm going to add some tiny black crystals. And you can add crystals on top of crystals, because who says you can't? So I'm adding some gem gel in stripes across the middle, one at the back, and then a couple at the front. And these will give my bee his or her little black stripes. And they do actually stay on, crystals on top of crystals, because this gem gel is extraordinarily good and it really does stick to everything. So there you go. Try crystals on top of crystals if you haven't before. Just going to play with this one at the front as well. Fight of my life. Come back, please. Here we go. Lovely. There we go. Give that a full cure. Beautiful. So we're going to grab some Diamond Shine top coat, and the idea is that we want to top coat the whole thing and push the top coat right up to the edges of these crystals. So what we're doing is encapsulating the edges and making sure that after we've top coated, nothing is able to get under the edges of those crystals and start to pull them away. And this is part of what is kind of adds to the longevity of your crystal application. If you're not getting your top coat right up to the edges of your crystals and sealing any of those little gaps, that's when they will start to pop off midway through your client's set before they come back to you. So there you go, another top tip. Loads of tips in this video. Just checking for gaps, and if it is a bit of a mess about, you can use a liner brush in top coat and put a bit of top coat on your palette and use a liner brush to get into all those little nooks and crannies. I'm just having a good look, and then I've given it a cure, and this is the finished look. So you can kind of complete this any way you like. It's to show you the techniques, and I really hope that if you do acrylic, you do have a go at this, because it is a lot of fun. It's very cute, and let me know how you get on.